Welcome to Talk Data to Me. I'm your host, Sarah Pellegrino. Joining me today is ASF Payment Solution and ClubOS's very own Nick Hahn, VP of Product. Every other month, we're going to bring you an insightful conversation around data points you should be looking at within your club management software and what decisions you can make with that data. Our hope is to make data spicy and fun and help you turn up the heat when it comes to revenue generation. Hey, fitness family, Sarah Pellegrino here, host of the Value Proposition by the Fitness Business Podcast and software and billing consultant, coming to you live with ASF and ClubOS's own Nick Hahn, VP of Product. Nick, welcome back to episode 2 of Talk Data to Me.
Sarah, I'm just glad that we got past the first one. We had a chance to do better this time, and then the sky's the limit after this one. It's going to be great.
We hit the ground running. We're ready for episode 2. Nick, if our listeners missed episode 1, and we're going to tell them to go back, what are the dashboards that they are going to learn about?
Sure. We talked about our 5 dashboards that we launched. So our revenue and remittance dashboards, which really focus on the money you're getting in and the money that is ending up into your bank account. And then our membership related ones, which are membership trends, our new memberships, and our churn dashboard, which really help you see why your membership draft is going in a certain direction.
Perfect. So if you missed that, go to YouTube, type in Talk Data to Me, Sarah Pellegrino, and episode 1 will pop right up for you. So for episode 2, we are diving right into lead to member conversion rates and all of the data points that come with that, right, Nick?
Yes, and it's a hot topic right now, especially coming off of Q1 of the year.
Absolutely. We're in Q2 as we record this now, end of April, beginning of May. So Nick, go ahead and define for our listeners what we mean when we are talking about lead to member conversion rate.
Well, Sarah, it's the rate that a lead converts into a member. It's a very important KPI that of all the total leads you have, let's say you have 100 total leads, how many of them end up being a member within a certain period of time? I like to do it within 30 days. I think that's where you get the majority of your conversions. But looking at the total number of leads that join and purchase a membership within the first 30 days.
Perfect. Thank you for that. We have to set a benchmark. So, Nick, tell me more about this lead to member conversion rate. Where are we for 2022, and how does that compare to what it may have been in 2021?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's a little surprising is that the lead to member conversion rates are actually down compared to last year. But the balance is that the net number of new memberships is actually higher this year than last year.
So what does that mean from a example standpoint? Give me an example. If you have 10 new leads last year and 4 joined, what are we looking at? What's a good example for 2022?
So if it was 10 last year, 4 joined, it would be something like you had 20 leads this year, so you got a lot more leads, but 7 joined. So the number of joined are higher. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, if you were converting it the same way you were last year, you could have an extra membership on draft at this point. And across multiple locations, across a larger scale of more than just 10 leads, that starts actually adding up.
So that's I think that's an important data point. What does that mean for club operators right now? What can they do with that? You're getting more people in the door, that you're just not keeping as much of them there, right? Or converting them as, at that rate from last year.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the increased competition for the members' attention, which means that you really have to hone in on your communication, the text, phone calls, and emails that you're sending, the ability to meet the member where they are, the timing, how often are you talking to them, when are you reaching out to them, and making sure that you're giving them the ability to pull information from your gym as it meets their schedule.
Everything on their time.
Always.
Is it fair to say that maybe, again, coming out of a 2-year-long pandemic, people are shopping fitness facilities a little bit more, and maybe that's why we're seeing more leads. People are more comfortable being in a health club or a fitness setting, but like you said, there is more competition than maybe we're all used to, and they're just kind of hopping around.
Yeah, so I'm in the suburbs of Philadelphia, and in the 6 months before COVID to now, there have been 50 plus health clubs opened in the Philadelphia region. There is a lot of choice now. Within a 10-minute drive, I've got to be able to access 10 gyms across all the segments, between boutique studios, the ones that survived from the COVID shutdown, between the HVLPs and even the premium club styles, or my local YMCA. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there's probably more than 10 in just a 10-minute drive. There's probably 20. So there's a lot of choices even for me. I mean, transparently, I have 3 memberships to 3 different places, right?
Yeah.
So there definitely is a lot more shopping going on.
I have 3 too.
Maybe 3 is the magic number.
Who knows? I don't
Someone should
know.
write a song about that.
There's one of them right there. So, Nick, you and I spoke previously about what I think is maybe one of your most genius ideas. You have a lot of them, but I really like this one. You said that if a health facility opened prior to the pandemic and then were shut down pretty soon after their opening, that they should consider doing a re-grand opening. Can you go a little bit more into detail here on what that looks like and why an operator would want to reinvest in that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think the grand opening is a way to get that initial focus and that initial draft up. That way you have some recurring revenue stream for the location. And you're really rallying the sales team around it. You're really doing a big marketing push. And you're trying to grow the initial membership base so that then the organic growth can come on. The referrals can be successful from there. So what happened, especially clubs that opened shortly before COVID, they lost a lot of that membership base during COVID, or the membership base that didn't cancel, they became disengaged. So you don't have a community. By doing a new grand opening, you are reinvigorating your members. Have a big celebration, have them bring friends, have them show off, rebuild the culture of the location.
Yeah.
That way they find more value than just picking up heavy weights and putting them down.
Well, it's bringing back the buzz.
You want excitement going to the gym. You want to have a buzz. And when it's half empty, that's not fun. You want to see a lot of people. You want to hear the weights clanking. That's what gives it the vibe.
So you mentioned growth. What growth should health clubs right now be aiming for the next 2 years? Is there a certain percentage of membership growth? This may not be one size fits all, but is there an average number that they should be looking to get?
I don't know if we can pin down one because of how different the segments are. In the regions also, the regionalization that has occurred because of COVID, you once could look at national numbers, but you really can't anymore. I think what's important is to be looking at, all right, I'm getting a bunch of net new memberships, but how many are churning? And churn doesn't just include expirations. That doesn't just include cancels. It's also, how many declines am I getting on my remit attempts? How many credit cards are now being disconnected or are being hard declined because some people are in still economic distress. GDP is going down, right? There could be on the beginning of a longer term recession. Gym memberships are, unfortunately, to some commodities, even though it's such a key part of a healthy, long lifestyle.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. Sad point, but a very, very valid point to bring up. Thank you. Let's chat about communication mediums, if you will. Okay. So when we're talking about converting a lead to a member, obviously they can walk in the door. Okay. Obviously they can just join online in certain scenarios. But if you are a salesperson in a health club right now and you are following up with a lead, more than likely you are going to do that by calling them, texting them, or emailing them. Am I right?
I would hope so. I hope carrier pigeon is not as common as it used to be.
That would get me. I would sign.
It would be pretty impressive.
So let's chat about conversion rates and which communication method you are seeing be the most successful in Q2 of 2022.
All right. Well, Sarah, when I was late for this recording, how did you reach out to me?
I texted you.
You
did. No, I'm just kidding.
You did text me, though. You didn't call me. You didn't email me. You texted me. And what our data is showing is that text is the best way to drive that conversion rate. It is somewhere between 10% higher than calling at this point, which is a little bit surprising. Now, the number we look at is that of the number of phone calls or texts or emails that you made, how many of those would lead to a conversion within the next couple of days. So we time box it at 7 at the most. So like the last outreach you made led to someone actually coming in and actually joining. And text message has somewhere between a 7 to 8% success rate of getting in. So out of every 100 members, you'll get 7 or 8 will actually join after receiving a text message.
Wow.
Yeah.
And could that text be to schedule a tour?
Well, that's exactly what it should be.
Okay.
If I'm a millennial or a Gen Z and I'm browsing your website and I'm saying, I want to learn more, but I'm not joining online right away, and then I get a phone call, that's exactly what I didn't want. If I wanted to call someone, I would have called them. I clearly don't want to talk to anyone right now. So getting a phone call 5 minutes later is not going to be received well. Getting a text message a few minutes later saying, hey, this is Nick from the Green Garage. Why don't you go ahead and book a time that you could come in and talk to us and see the gym or get a free workout? Now that's what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to book tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'm going to go in and get my pump on and see what this place is like. I don't want to talk to anyone before then. Just I'll go there and greet someone there to get myself all set up.
What's that mean? You and I we all have that one friend that after you text them, they call you.
Yes. Yeah, don't be that friend.
Don't be that friend.
Now, if they don't respond to the text message, there is a lot of success in making phone calls still. It's surprising since COVID, the success rate of phone calls has actually increased.
It has increased past email.
Yes, email is at this point, it still brings over conversion rates, but what we recommend to our customers is stop the one-on-one emails. Just go right to the brand-oriented emails where you're talking from the brand's perspective. Having a salesperson type out an email at this point, well, it's got to be automated. Don't manually send an email. And even a text message, that should be automated. The first text message should always be automated. Because there's no prior relationship, there's no special knowledge that you're supposed to have. Later on in the sales workflow, that's when you do want those touch points to be manual, because I'm a salesperson. Sarah, you've met me already. It's going to be weird if some automation doesn't refer to our past relationship. But other than that, you got to be automating those first touch points.
So if an operator needs help automating that process, Nick, how can you help them?
Oh, we love helping them. It's part of our onboarding experience. So we do have a set of out-of-the-box cadences that we recommend to our customers, and we have sample scripting. Of course, we like our customers to put in their own brand voice because that's what makes them unique. We don't want them sounding like us, but we love helping that. It's one of our passions is to actually help tweak those for our customers to even get that extra 1% conversion rate. That makes a huge difference.
And when you say us, you mean ClubOS?
Oh, sorry. Yes, I do mean ClubOS. That is us. That's me.
You represent 2 brands, Nick. We have to clarify.
That's a good point.
All right. So one more point I want to drive home here because I think it's really important. That's one of my favorites. So you have shown me these beautiful graphs of your ASF and ClubOS customer base. And if we're looking at March of 2022, last month per se, the successful conversion rate by these communication methods, text was 7-8%. Calling was almost 7%. So it's a close second to text. To your point, email is pulling up the rear at not even 4.5%. So 4%, let's say.
Yeah.
That's powerful. People are, and I think that just is what it is as a consumer. I get emails about everything. I end up on lists. I'm like, how did they get my email? I didn't give you this, Is that just what we're seeing? I think that's a really great observation.
Yeah, there's absolutely saturation in email, and email has dipped more than the other communication forms year over year. So like looking at last year, even last year in 2021, email was converting at almost a 6% rate, right? So that's a pretty big dip in success in March. Or compare that to 2020, right before the beginning of COVID, it was at a 4% rate. So we're actually kind of like regressing back down to where we were, where just email is not the way to contact people anymore for the one-off things. It's great, again, in mass automation, but spending any human capital on it, it's slowly becoming less and less valuable.
That brings up a really great point about last year, because obviously the conversion rates were a bit higher. So we look at text was close to 10%.
Yeah, almost 10% last year. Yeah. Same thing, even phone calls were over 8% last year, almost 9%. Yeah. So there has been that dip in the success rate of the follow-ups, which does attribute to making sure the communication is tighter and making sure that you're beating the competitor to the lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and people had a little more free time on their hands last year than they do now.
I don't know. I still have a lot of free time.
We're going to give you some more episodes to film. Don't you worry.
Oh, no, thank you.
We're going to book up that free time. All right. That's awesome. So let's chat about the success rate of phone calling. You pulled some lovely graphs for me, and I want you to chat about the wild ride over the last few years and what club operators can take from this data.
Yeah, absolutely. So while the success of phone call has been dipping back to kind of pre-COVID levels, it's still a successful form of communication. And if you're going to have your sales staff doing something, you might as well have them pick up the phone, right, and call. What's interesting is that the best time to actually reach someone has changed. Previously, before COVID, Monday mornings, people were just getting into the office, they're procrastinating. They were getting their coffee, going to the lunchroom, talking to everyone, saying hi to everyone. It was actually a pretty successful time to be calling people at that point. Post-COVID, that's actually one of the worst times. I mean, you might as well just be calling them Friday afternoon at that point if you're going to call them Monday morning. It's now shifted to Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning are more successful times to actually be calling.
No, that's just helpful. Look at that. I like that.
Yeah. It's another thing is that it used to be during lunch breaks was a successful time, but now during lunch break, especially since I think a lot more people are still working from home, lunch is mine. Don't call me during my lunch break. I'm scrolling on TikTok. Like, come on, like give me a few minutes. I don't need to be answering calls.
I'm working out. I'm doing laundry, doing anything but eating.
I'm attempting to, at least.
That's really, really helpful. Thank you so much. I think that is something that we can get into the sales follow-up schedules right now, is to stop calling on Monday morning.
Oh, Monday morning.
Call anyone on a Friday.
No, well, yes, absolutely don't call anyone on Friday. Well, it's interesting to think about because I love this little tidbit. You call someone on a Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to do? You're trying to get them to come in for an appointment. No one's coming in Friday afternoon to a gym.
Oh.
Like, that's just like, I'm about to go destroy my diet potentially. Yeah. I'm not going to go work out on Friday afternoon. So you get a scheduled appointment for Monday, for Tuesday. What are the odds of them showing up? Well, I can tell you they're not good.
Mm-hmm.
they're not good. If for an appointment that was booked on Friday for a Monday or Tuesday, the show rates are pretty low.
Just a lot of days in between there.
There's a lot of days for life to get in the way.
All
or,
right.
I forgot about something that I was supposed to be doing then.
Love it. Nick, what is one piece of advice? We're talking about lead to member conversion rates. We're talking about communication styles and methods and how we are talking to our leads. What is a piece of advice that you would give someone that, let's say that lead joins, then what? How should they be communicating with that member once they are officially a member? And let's say that first 30 to 60 days, which we know is really crucial time.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to be following up with them. You need, and this is where brand email campaigns that are thoughtful and are drip, but make sure to each email highlights a different service that you offer that is exciting to the member. And then you should also tailor it based on whether or not they've been back since their initial time. So if they worked out once and then haven't worked out again in 7 days, you should talk to them a little bit differently than the person who has come in 3 or 4 times since. It's a different sales pitch you're trying to make. The person coming in the 3rd or 4th time, make sure they've got their app going, right? That's easy thing. Make sure it's as easy as possible for them to get into the location. Person who hasn't been back in 7 days, what fun services are included in their membership? Maybe they should have them try class, right? Maybe working out wasn't what they want to do. Give them a free small group training class. Talk to them about that free fitness consultation that they might not have signed up for yet. Those are the things you got different. But if a member has been in 4 times in their first 7 days, the fitness consultation might not be for them. Don't try to pitch them on that. Then it's just going to come across very salesy. And you want to be invested in their success.
I love that. Great point. Great point. Now, what is just a general piece of advice to fitness business owners and operators? We're in Q2 now. We're heading into summer. Q2, Q3, what should they be looking at?
It's going to sound repetitive. Stop making phone calls on Fridays, especially in the summer. It's going to be awful. Staff loves to make phone calls during downtime. I get it. it feels like the right thing, but what days have the most downtime? It's Friday. And especially during the summer, that's just not the right time. Hold on those calls until Monday. It's definitely better to be coaching your staff to make those phone calls at the right time, because the goal isn't to make a phone call. The goal is to book an appointment. It's not just about pushing the number of phone calls. It's about pushing the appointments made. And by doing it the right day at the right time, you're going to increase that likelihood.
We're making the phone call to get them in the door.
Absolutely.
Not just so a salesperson can say they made 20 phone calls today.
Nope. That's the wrong KPI. Every KPI needs a balanced KPI with it.
That is really helpful. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I'm sure a lot of clubs are still making that mistake.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Nick, thank you so much for diving into lead to member conversion rate and communication conversion rate successes. So thank you so much. If someone wants to chat with you a little bit more on this topic, where can they reach you?
Yep. Easiest place is nick@club-os.com. Easiest email to get to me. You can talk to me about Club OS or ASF. I'll respond.
You don't want them to text you?
No.
Not the first time.
No, we're not going to do that. No. Oh, wow. The irony.
The irony. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in and listening to Talk Data to Me, episode 2. We will catch you next time on episode 3. Bye.
See ya.